Hi, for those who don't know me, my name is Thibaut, but everyone calls me Tib, and I'll be doing my faith journey today. Um, I'll separate it to two parts because, uh, well, you could tell later. But anyway, part one. I wasn't raised a Christian. Growing up, the only thing I knew about Jesus was that he was a good kid, that he was obedient to his parents, and that's it. When I became a teenager, um, Jesus, Son of God, um, he's a good man. He did a few cool things where he turned water into wine and walked on water and rose from the dead and so on. That's all I knew of him. I didn't actually realise he was God. So during, what was that, about 14, 15, that's when I started questioning, is there a God? Because as far as I was concerned, if there is no God, I'm just an accident. There's no right or wrong. But anyway, on my 50th birthday, about a few days after, a couple of friends from school, um, thought they'd take me out to Nando's, about 20-minute walk from where I live. And and without getting into the details, they weren't that good to me. I ended up walking home alone, heartbroken, and I was 15, so it was all about being tough and hard, and crying for girls, and yeah. So as I was walking home, I decided to walk through a local park. This was dark, there's no one around, so I could weep. And I was writing aloud because the only person I need to blame, that's a lot of the time, was God. I wasn't sure he existed, but I need to blame someone. At the time, I really wanted to know whether there was God or no God. I was actually like a lot of those alpha posters, quite cheesy posters, but that's what I was like. Thick in face, what am I doing here? Or, this one's a good one. Where am I going? I was asking those questions, and like I said earlier, if there was no God, I'm an accident. I could do what I want. There's no right or wrong, and yeah. So I was writing to God aloud, and eventually, one of the last things I asked was God, if you're real, why do you want Christians to just believe in you when you don't even show yourself? Prove your existence now, or that's it. I give up. I don't believe. That little hope I have in my heart, it's gone. So eventually, I arrived home, went upstairs, went to bed. I was probably going to go to sleep because I was in too much thoughts, too upset. And I remember 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, I was already up, went downstairs, walked around the living room table continuously as I was in lots of thoughts. And between 7 and half 8 perhaps, I hear a knock on the door, and at the time I was the only household member up. And by the way, at 15, when I was 15, my breakfast would be 2 p.m. or something like that. I was never a walking person, but obviously I was up that morning. And it was a Saturday morning. So I opened the door, and it was some kind of priesty guy, with the collars, you know what I mean. And he asked me, "Do you believe in God?" And wasn't even to be preached at, so I said, yeah, unconvincingly. And he left me he offered, what was the booklet? There you go. Booklet about that size, maybe a little bit smaller. As he was talking to me, he had it like that to me. I didn't take it, I was quite hesitant because I didn't want it. I mean, it was a book and I hate reading. And I was thinking in my head, it's a book, I'm not going to read it. But as he was talking, he kept having it like that, yada. And eventually, slowly, I took it. So eventually he said bye, and I said bye. I closed the door, and I didn't move. I was thinking, that's a bit weird, morning after I moaned about God, some guy, this silly hour in the morning, asking me, do you believe in God? Bit weird. But anyway, I probably took a step back and looked at this. So I opened the cover, noticed a picture and the title. Wasn't planning to read it, but I thought maybe if I read, a paragraph or something, I could then say, yeah, I've read it, I just didn't like it. So then I read the title, and the title was, Why Does God Not Show Himself to People? And I just stared at them, amazed. I was like, coincidences don't happen like that. I just knew that it was written in my heart. It had to be God. So the Monday after, I went to school despite holding a little grudge about those two friends. I was a Christian. It felt good. But there was a problem with that. I still never opened the Bible. I never prayed unless I needed something. Most of the time I prayed was when I was eligible to play for Euro Millions. Come on, God. I know you exist because you proved to me that you exist. So I know you're listening. Come on, right? I need this. I need those 120 millions. I won't be satisfied with 30 million, but 120, definitely. I need it. I'm poor. Come on. He still didn't get back to me, by the way. I'm hoping still. So that was a problem. I called myself a Christian, but I never really committed. So that's part one. Part two starts now. To not last academic year, but the academic year before, I wasn't in Bangor. I was a third year, but that year was a year abroad. But as part of my French course. I was in Corsica. It was a great party. On the 30th anniversary of the university there was a big party there. And so I went out and I accidentally, and it was accidentally, had a bit too much rum. Accident. It happens. Fast forward. At the end of the party, about 6 a.m. I was back where I lived, and 5 of my friends were putting me to bed because I was totally out of it, vomiting and all that. So they put me to bed, but then I felt sick. So I don't actually remember this, but that's the story they told me. So I went to climb on my table, open the window, and the height is about 6.5, 7 meters. And I fell, head first. I'm sure we've all done it. Accident happened. I was then in a coma for 12 days. While I was in a coma, the odds were against me in many ways. Whether they thought I'd be partially blind on one eye because it was a bone I broke right around here. And they didn't know how bone damage I would be. They didn't know whether I would live an independent life. Also, my walking was a concern because while I was unconscious throughout those 12 days, only one of my legs was twitching. I think it was my right leg was twitching, but my left was still. So that was very special for my dad. When I woke up, I recovered very quickly. In fact, when I had the MRI scan, I was repatriated back to England, to medical reasons and so on, rehabilitation. And my healing was very well, almost miraculous, you could say. I mean, I had the MRI scans and the brain surgeon or whatever you call those people. You know, the scans didn't match with the scans I had while I was unconscious. Um, I recovered so well. But anyway, during January time, I was planning to go back abroad for the second semester. On 20th of January, it was my 21st birthday, so I went back to Bangor. And around, it was around midnight time. My good mood started to change from, well, good to very depressed, very anxious, very heartbroken. I couldn't tell you why, that's how I felt. So a few days later, I came back home on Monday, and my dad definitely saw there was a change in me. I wasn't the same person, and he recognised that I needed help because when I was 4 years old, my mum passed away from following severe depression. So what my dad was seeing was exactly what he was seeing or remember seeing 17 years plus before. So he organised a meeting with the GP. That's where I got diagnosed depressed. Eventually, I confessed that I'm in a bad state. So my trip back abroad was postponed. And around March time, maybe, I had severe depression. So basically, when you go through depression, when I went through depression, there's like a short-term thing, and there's a long-term thing. Yeah, I can't use the right language to them. But I went through short-term where I was just like some kind of vague center thing, so I can recover slightly. I don't know. But I was slightly anxious as well. So when I was discharged from that, and then the plan was I start seeing a psychologist, and long term. But for some reason, 3 weeks later, still nothing. So I was going backwards again, and my anxiety became very strong when you're awake, where your heart will just pound. You don't really feel the heartbeat pounding now. You're not thinking about it, but I always felt it, and every time I tried to find a way to deal with my anxiety, whether it's watching South Park or listening to music or anything, nothing worked. Then at one point I thought, I'm a Christian after all, so maybe I should read the Bible. And of course I was too anxious to read the Bible, so I found an audio Bible website, bible.is, what that stands for. And I went on the Book of Matthew so I could start listening to it. So I clicked play and lied on my bed, stared at the ceiling, and my anxiety just vanished. Like, within a few verses, it just disappeared. And of course, a few hours later, or maybe every day, my anxiety would come back. So I tried listening to the gospel again, and it just vanished. It kept working. And after weeks of trying to find a way to deal with my anxiety, it turned out that the only cure for that anxiety was Jesus. Especially, I remember listening to one of his parables, and I was like, what? I mean, how could a teacher teach people using parables? I mean, you don't see that anywhere. And really, I just fell in love with Jesus, and that love I had for this man was just incredible. So really, that's when I started, committing myself to Christianity. Started going to church, and it was Catholic church first, because that's the only church I knew. But after a while, I came back to Bangor, joined the CU, I went on a church hunt. The 5th week of church hunt, I went to this church, and I really felt welcomed at this church. So I got baptised less than a year ago. That's basically me. Mike, thank you. faith journey. So yeah, so if you want to ask me any questions, you can ask me now or later. So cool.